Okay, Scholastic Day 4. Like I said last time, more fun new things to find each time. You guys might have found some of the things that I'm going to show you this time before I did. So that's okay. Let's go to our lesson. Again, I have to switch us around. Okay, so same website as we always go to. And we're going to day 4, social studies communities. Now, in the beginning of the year and a little bit recently, we talked about being citizens and having citizenship. And that also goes along with being community members. And right now, it goes along with having social responsibility. So these books are about the different communities that people can live in, where they're citizens of those communities, and they show citizenship and they have social responsibility in those communities. So the fiction book is Giggle Giggle Quack, which is it's part of the series of Click Clack Moo, which many of you know. And then Living on Farms is a really fun book that I wanted to show you a little bit more about. So if we click on read the book for Living on Farms, I noticed, you probably already did, but I noticed this read along button. So at first, I was thinking, okay, friends are going to read these books. They're going to read all the words and they're going to figure it out. But I also thought some of these vocabulary words are really big. And that's okay. You don't need to know all of them. Luckily, there's a read aloud button. So I'm going to click it and we'll see what happens. Oops, it says there is no audio for this page, probably because it's the title, Living on Farms. So we'll go to the next one. So I'm going to push pause up here because that page was read to me so fast. I wasn't really prepared for it. So I'm going to go back to slower. I'm going to click on this little turtle and I'm going to click slower because that was too fast. I couldn't follow along. So I'm going to go back to the beginning of the page. And if it says, the tricky part is if it says normal, that means it's going slow. And so you could click normal if you wanted to go back to being faster. So I'm going to push play again because now I'm ready. So then I can push pause and I can think about that page. This is what many farms used to look like. I think I'm rereading it is what I realized. A single family owned the farm and lived on it and worked on it. All right, I'm ready to go to the next page. So let's push play again. So it read it again. I'm not worried about it, no problem. But I've realized maybe I need to click to go to the next page. Let's see if it's reading it to me. I'm going to push pause again because sometimes these blue things keep coming up and it's covering my words. So I'm going to click this side button here and make the whole screen this book. I might have showed you that way back in the first one, but it's something to note in every single book. So now if we push play, it won't cover up any of the words. Okay, so then we have to click on the next page. It doesn't turn the page for us. We have to click on the next page down here, which is the next button. So if you notice here, there are 2 words that are in yellow. The reason those are in yellow is because those are important words in the story. When you get to the other activities, you'll have to remember, those yellow highlighted words meant something important to me. So maybe you reread that section or you invite a family member over to think about that with you so that you can really remember exactly what those words are. So I'm going to click out of this so I can show you where those words show up again. So if we go to word match, So the first clue is to feed on growing grass. So I have to think, did I come across that word? Was it one of my yellow highlighted words? Maybe. I remember on that last page, I was reading about poultry. It was not to feed on growing grass, but I remember specifically that was a highlighted yellow word. So you also have the option to go back to read the story or read the book, excuse me. Um, and you can find those words again if you're not sure. So you can look up the yellow highlighted words and then click back. Okay, so you can go back and forth to look up the words. The clue changes, so that's kind of tricky, but it would just be going back into the book to study the yellow highlighted words. So then you have your fact or fiction. So the pictures have nothing to do with the clues. The pictures are simply saying fact because that's a photograph of a nonfiction something. It's real. And this is a fiction picture of something that's not real. So the pictures are just showing you that they match the words fact or fiction, but the pictures do not match the clue. Just something to note. Then you have your which comes first. Again, you guys are experts at this because it's like Lexia and you do this with fiction books all the time. So I'm going to click out of these. We're going to go to watch the video. And kind of like your other word match, you have keywords, communities, suburban, rural, and urban. So totally different keywords, but in a similar way, you want to think about what these words might mean or ask a family member to tell you what they mean before you read. I'll give you some clues. A community is a group of people that live together. So these three different types of communities are different places where people can live together. Rural is way out in the country, big open fields, kind of like parts of Petaluma. But suburban is also like parts of Petaluma where houses are close together and there are neighborhoods that we traditionally think of. And urban is kind of like a big city. So it would be apartment buildings and tall skyscrapers like San Francisco would be an urban environment. So when you listen to this video, think about rural out in the country, suburban in a neighborhood, and urban big tall skyscrapers. Those are all three different types of communities. Okay, and then you can take the quiz if you want. Then I noticed, again, think sheets. They're exactly the same as the last one. Again, print or don't, and you can click on them and do the same thing. Draw some things you saw, do a video review, or again, this last one is you'd have to do it before you watch the video because then you do it after as well. So lots of choices. Oh my goodness, look, there's 3 more think sheets. Nonfiction video checklist. This says, in the video, I saw a title. I don't know. You'd have to decide. In the video, I saw a diagram or a label. Because it's a nonfiction video, they very well may have labeled one of the pictures. I saw a map. Ooh, that could be key when you're learning about communities and different places, because maps are for putting places on. I saw photos or videos of real things, very likely in a nonfiction video. And then I heard an animal sound, maybe in the rural environment, they might have shown you the sound of a cow. I'm not sure. That's one of the nonfiction, that's one of the extra um, reflection sheets that you can do. Here's another one, make a puzzle. Let's see. Have children draw and color their favorite parts of the video, filling in the whole box. Cut them out and then paste them in order, and then they'll have to put the puzzle pieces together. So just all the things you saw in the video, you write down one on each line, then you cut them up, mix them up, and then put them in order of how they actually occurred in the video. That's pretty neat. Lastly, what's the main idea? So this says, teachers, show your class the video, right? You will watch the video. And then I ask you to imagine that someone has not seen this video, but they want to know what it's about. So maybe you think, oh, my mom hasn't seen the video, but she wants to know what it's about. Or my little brother or older sister wants to see this video, but they don't know what it's about. So I'm just going to give them a little snapshot of what the video was mostly about. So you draw a picture of the information that you saw most often in the video. So what kept coming up and coming up and coming up, that's what you'll draw. And then it says, what is the video mostly about? So you would write what you saw coming up in the video over and over and over. What's the thing you saw most often in the video? That's what you would write right here. And then you could share it with someone. You could tell them the main idea of this video is whatever you decided. So let's click out of that. So good. We're not going to continue going down here, but there are so many good ones. Maybe we'll review them during our next video. But let's click out of that. So that's day 4, social studies and communities. Now, I feel like this video was longer than the others. A tip I want to give you is pause this video at any time. So if you think, okay, I've made it through the first section, click pause on me and go do the activity. Then come back to this video, click play again, and I'll tell you about the next part. Then you can do that part. Pause me, right? Pause me, go do that, and go back and forth to me and the website and me and the website so that you don't have to watch and try to remember everything I told you just now. So let's click back. Thank you for listening, and I hope that was helpful. Always tell your moms and dads and anyone who's helping take care of you that they can send me any feedback, any information that they want in order to help make these videos more helpful. Okay, happy reading!